Welcome to Google Marketing Partners Academy. Sorry. I'm Stephanie from LCS team. And today in our quarterly product updates live stream, I'm going to share with you some exciting product launches that were announced in Google Marketing Live back in July. So before I start, I want to know if everyone has started coming back from lunch break, bathroom breaks. Are you ready with your headphones on? Because we're going to sit tight for the next hour and to go through all these updates. So before we start, I believe many of you already know the Google Partners Academy website. So to those who want to watch our past Google Ads training, please check out our specific Academy playlist on YouTube by scanning the QR code right in the middle of the slide on the screen. So if everybody is ready, then let's take a quick look at today's agenda. So before I start, don't forget, if you have any questions throughout this training, please leave your comment or question in the chat box in the right-hand side of the video, and I will try to answer all of your questions towards the end of the training. So without further ado, let's go right into today's agenda and to go through what's on for today. So we're going to go through smart campaigns, smart shopping campaigns, responsive search ads, and towards the end, we're going to have a Q&A session. So for smart campaigns, at Google, we don't only work with large customers. We also work with small and medium-sized businesses. So for small customers and teams, the resources are usually limited and could be challenging for them to come up with the right keywords and optimizations for each campaign. And we had a vision to help small and medium businesses to set up ads in just a few minutes. So this is why we have announced the launch of smart campaigns at our Google Marketing Live event this year. We have taken the innovation of technology of Google Ads and coupled that with the simplicity of the site. This campaign can help you to save time, it's simple, and also deliver results that business owners that care about. So for example, driving action online, bring customers to your stores, or making the phone ring and making conversion towards the end. So let's take a look at how, in the eye of a business owner, and see how can this smart campaign help them drive results. So taking an example, Meet This Barbecue supply company based in Chicago. So back in 2010, they opened a small takeout spot, but now they have grown into a restaurant, a catering business, and a barbecue training center. So with smart campaigns, we have their ads up and running in just a few minutes. Learn about their website and Google My Business listing ads. We automatically create sample ads that focus on what makes them unique. And their ads went on Google local search result and 3 million websites across display and apps. So we leverage machine learning to help them to find new customers so that they can focus on their business on making barbecue great again. And in terms of when small and medium businesses not only do they have the challenge of coming up with the campaign strategy and even optimization, but sometimes they don't even have a website of their own. Did you know that in US, nearly half of the small medium businesses don't have a website themselves? And even if they do, they don't have the resources to optimize the site and make it advertising ready. And this is why smart campaigns, we have been testing the ability to create landing pages real time and to help optimize for ads. They showcase about the right info about your products and services and match them to the ad creative. And conversion reporting is built right in to help you get the most out of your advertising offering. We have been working a long time to make smart campaigns right, and the early results have been great. So smart campaigns deliver about 3 times better at getting your ads in front of the right audiences. Now, smart campaign is actually an umbrella holistic idea of how Google Ads has been re-innovated into moving forward, making Google Ads a simpler platform and based on machine learning to help your campaign succeed and deliver results for your client. So one of the smart campaigns components, smart shopping campaigns, is one of them. So shopper behavior has changed dramatically in the last 5 years. And with mobile increasingly at the heart of these on-the-go shopping interactions, over the past few years, we've seen shoppers turn to their smartphone to help them to discover, do research, and just to find the right products for what they're looking for. So mobile has fractured the consumer journey into hundreds of real-time, intent-driven moments. Our intention span is shorter, and we take unscripted, non-linear path to purchase. Brand loyalty is waning, and is we becoming more loyal to our needs in the moment. So increasing consumer expectation is making our industry more and more complex. And likewise, managing campaign has gotten much more complicated and time-consuming. With a complex user journey and cost to manage campaigns and maximize performance at accelerating at a sustainable rate. Meaning, to reach your performance goal, you need to make more formats, more detailed optimization, and to segment different audiences into smaller pools. So how do you drive sales most efficiently? Since catching the right shopper at the right time and deliver them to the right message, it's getting more and more challenging. We're looking towards machine learning to help you to reach your audience and drive campaign success for your clients. So smart shopping campaigns are a new campaign type for retailers that leverage machine learning. You can imagine I mentioned machine learning about 10 times by now, but machine learning is the key in a lot of the upcoming innovation that we have for Google. So machine learning helps to drive simplicity, performance, and reach for your campaigns. And these new campaigns simplify the campaign management to enable you to reach high-value shoppers without having to invest more time and effort in doing so. So how do smart shopping campaign help you to achieve the simplicity, performance, and reach? We use your business goal to automatically optimize campaigns. Machine learning that let us understand and optimize the campaign across intent signal. So to reach your goal. So intent signals such as, are you interested in buying a pair of shoes? Are you looking to move houses? Are you looking to buy a car? Are you graduating? Or if you're having a newborn, being a new parent. We also optimize your ads across Google channels, letting you reach the right user and the right ad at the right time. So the goal of this new campaign type are based on the retailer's business objectives. Today, we support one marketing objective and maximize conversion value. This means that your campaigns will automatically optimize towards maximum sales revenue with the budget that you have given. So optionally, if you want to, the retailer can also set a target ROAS goal, which will automatically optimize towards a maximum conversion value at or above the target ROAS the retailer specified. In simpler form, that means now with the same budget that you have, you can get more out of it. And this goal-based shopping campaign uses insights and signals to fuel all the optimization so that this can maximize the performance of your campaign. This campaign type uses more signals for every auction than any other bidding solution to make informed and accurate optimization decision for you. It will set bids for each individual auctions and not just a few times a day, but when the time is right, and then the machine learning will help you to place the right bid and optimization strategy. So to help you reach the right audiences with the right ad, we are combining your traditional shopping and dynamic remarketing campaigns to more efficiently maximize your sales across Google channels. With smart shopping campaigns, you will use the one feed, one remarketing list and tag, and then have your budget automatically allocated across channel based on performance. And one feed, one remarketing tag, meaning a retailer only needs one feed, so one set of feed and one set of tag one campaign. So you don't have to set one search campaign, one display campaign just to do this, but one campaign will cover both grounds for you. And we will optimize across search partners, the display network, YouTube, and Gmail to maximize the conversion value. So later on in the slides, I'm going to show you the comparison between the traditional or known as the shopping campaigns versus smart shopping campaigns. How are they different from each other? But for now, understand it as the smart shopping campaign, meaning you will have these shopping ads showing across all Google properties rather than just on search. And the budget will be automatically allocated towards the most performing, best performing ads and the Google properties where the machine learning is seeing the best results. So smart shopping campaign can reach user across all of these channels that's showing on the screen right now. So like I mentioned before, the big difference between the old shopping ads versus the new one is that these shopping ads now will appear not only on search, but across GDN, YouTube, and Gmail. In the beginning of this year, we have done some analysis with the early adopters who have tested out this campaign, and we've seen a plus 20% on more conversion value than the standard standalone campaigns that you would set of a similar type. So there is a kind of a best practice on how to set up the campaign. So you can have like a pre and post comparison. So for example, if you're already running a shopping campaign to begin with, you can set up a separate campaign to run this smart shopping campaigns to compare how is the smart shopping campaign delivering result against the existing campaign you have. And also test with a smaller set. So have a specific product groups that you test with before you launch an entire campaign with smart shopping. So when we say testing, we also say test small, but with a big expectation. So in this case, try with a small bit part of the campaign before you launch it across all the other ad groups that you have. So these are the 4 steps on how the activation will work for smart shopping campaigns. So you have obviously to create the campaign, set the budget, select a product that you would like to advertise. Since you know shopping products, there's a feed that goes on it that advertising certain products which work really well in general for retailers. So and finally to add creative, as simple as that, 4 steps, and you're on your way to go. So like I mentioned a few slides earlier, you just need 1 set of feed and 1 set of remarketing tag alongside this 4 steps, then you already have yourself a smart shopping campaign. So this slide shows some key differences between the shopping campaigns and the smart shopping campaigns. So a few things that I want to point out here is that in terms of the distribution, you now have more Google properties to distribute the ads throughout. So you can see the differences here. The GDN is there, Gmail and YouTube is part of it now. And in terms of format, now you can remarket these audience lists across all these different Google properties as well. And before, you could only do that via search. And finally, this smart shopping campaign setup is a fully automated bidding and also maximize conversion value at a given budget. So there is less intervention in this case where you rely on the machine learning more to deliver the result of the shopping campaign. And here are some benefits of consolidating shopping and display remarketing. So one of the key benefits of having a smart shopping campaign versus the old one, I mentioned it not enough, this is my 3rd time saying it, is that combining the power of search and the display. Because now that you can do a remarketing across different properties with shopping campaign features, this will help you to maximize your reach across and also have a fluid budget optimization and no longer bound only within search, but you can have that budget running in more on YouTube or more on Gmail ads if these formats deliver better result for you. The machine learning will decide which of these formats actually give you the result. And I cannot not mention brand safety is at the heart of everything we do. So brand safety features are also enabled for smart shopping campaigns. So the brand safety part is automated, and by default, we filter out non-family safe content, as well as some sensitive social issue, tragedy, conflict, and also videos that are not yet labeled, that are unknown. So those are the ones that we have already excluded to make sure your advertisers' ads appear on the most brand safe environment. And if you think that's not enough, that's fine. We can also give you the option to have a manual exclusion where you can control where your ads are appearing if your advertiser is a bit more sensitive with their advertising in general. And these are just some examples on how the marketing images would look if it were to appear on GDN or, in this case, Gmail. And finally, I want to mention that for these smart shopping campaigns, this is a great way to add on when the seasonalities happen. So coming up, we have the Double 11s in China. We have Christmas coming up. These are key moments for retailers to have their ads show at the right time to the right person and deliver the right message. So please try to test it out and see if that works for you, because I know that most of the agencies now are planning for the upcoming Q4 November, December campaign. So this could be part of the strategy suggestion that you have for your clients. And next up, I want to share a bit on the best practices with you. So how to set up the smart shopping campaigns and set up yourself up for success. So in terms of budget, use the average daily spend of the current shopping campaigns to maintain a similar spend pattern. So this campaign will automatically optimize your campaign for maximum conversion value, meaning will deliver the highest conversion value possible for your budget. So with the same budget that you have before, now your conversion could possibly go up. So delivering more value for your customers. And second, to stay where the specific ROAS go, so that your campaign will either spend at your budget or meet this ROAS. So not only give the option for the campaign to just spend the whole budget by the end of a certain date, but give it a goal, and so that by the time you reach the goal, then you can lower the spend level. So you're increasing the cost efficiency by not delivering ads that you no longer need to drive the conversion that you need into the ROAS target that you have. Or make sure you have implement conversion tracking. Of course, go without saying, if you run a shopping campaigns that could be remarket later on, but you are not installing a conversion tracking for reporting purposes, then you are not doing the campaign or the product giving the best justice for it, right? So make sure you have that in place to capture the accurate transaction information so that you can report back to your clients. And finally, the creative is very important. I think sometimes the clients, they kind of bypass this. They think all the creative that I've created is going to perform best because they have hired the best creative agency to design it. Therefore, it is the best. It might be the best visual, but if there isn't a call to action, sometimes that might not drive better results. So making sure that the creative assets is good for remarketing, and also it has deliver a relevant message when you're trying to remarket to your customer, who your potential customer who's going to buy your products later. So here are just some performance evaluation or recommendation, like thinking of how do you measure the success of your campaign after, well, pre, during, and after the campaign has ended. So here are just some example. I'm not going to go through each and every one a step, but I want to point out some key points to take away. So making sure before you plan or set up the campaign, you have the same number of days as post period. So the same days a week and same daily spend as post period. And also after the campaign has ended, make sure that you exclude some 15 days learning period. Meaning we always tell you take like 1 to 2 weeks for the campaign to adjust itself, especially for smart related campaigns. So smart shopping campaign in this case, it takes the machine learning some time, up to 2 weeks, to learn about the behavior and the pattern of conversion. So when you incorporate that into your post-period analysis, that will help you to decide, okay, maybe we look at after 2 weeks performances is when the actual campaign optimization magic happens. And finally, also set the expectation with the client, right? So evaluate the performance with your client and making sure that let them know this is a test that you guys are running against what you used to do. The initial performance might fluctuate a little, might differ, but I'm sure towards as the campaign runs longer, the dividend is going to be paid. So we recommend targeting all products with one campaign for the easiest and simplest way of setting campaign up. And if you want to, so there are a few limited scenarios where you might target a subset of product in the smart shopping campaign. So if you want to start testing on specific product category only, or if you have a very different ROAS, goals, or budget for a certain product. So only if you have to, then you can set up 2 separate campaigns to host this smart shopping campaigns. But in general, we do suggest that you have only one shell to host this campaign instead of running 10 different ones just because you want to test out different ROAS, for example. So I want to talk a bit more on the machine learning and bidding behind the smart shopping campaign. So in smart shopping campaign that uses machine learning to automate bidding, targeting, and creatives. So we are able to optimize for every single auction, use a large variety of intent signal. So when you set up campaigns in general, you might put in the interest of the potential target audience that you're targeting, or you will have an age range. But in this case, Smart Campaign helps you to find these users based on the intent of your particular audience that you're trying to reach for. So to automate bidding and targeting, we automatically distribute your budget across channels to maximize conversion value. And we're able to target the right user with the right ad using a variety of contextually relevant intent-based signals for every single auction. And we'll go into more details on these signals on the next slide. And in terms of the creative, how do we automate creatives? We choose the right creative to show based on the user. So for example, on Google search, we'll use user search query to choose the right product from your feed to show. And on the Google Display Network, we will choose the right ad to show based on that user activity on your website. So if it's on search, they're based on the search query on how this user have searched in the past. If it's a GDN, then they're based on what they have looked at on your site in the past. So more onto the how the machine learning helping every auction. In this slide, this is machine learning is constantly self-learning at every single auction. So imagine your campaign enter over hundreds of auctions every day. Every time it accept or reject an auction is a learning period for the machine to get better at getting you the conversion at the lowest value and the most efficient way. And in terms of the optimization, because the right bid is really important, right bid not only bid at the right user, but also given the right bid to achieve the ROAS or the ROI that you have set or based on your client's goal. So at Google, we offers the true auction time optimization that set bids for every single auction and not just a few times a day. So this is more technical, but essentially it means we evaluate every single auction rather than we take an average of how your auctions, the auctions that you have within the day, and decide whether or not to bid for this particular user. And with this, we are more accurate with finding the right user at the right time, delivering the right messages. And because with the different signals that we get through across your remarketing list, across maybe different devices and location, then we can deliver ads to the different devices that the user might be on and at the right language that the user prefers, as well as in the right formats that is tailored to the current context that they're in. I guess I don't have to repeat myself on how automated this whole part is. So in terms of like the conversion, to maximize the conversion value, this is also something that we automate. So by clicking the button when you set up the campaign in the additional settings, as shown on the screen, to make sure that you are enabling this bidding methodology. And so by bidding dynamically to set product level, user level in every single auction, that helps you to create the set the ground for the best success of increasing sales. And because you're doing well in the sales, your client might potentially increase budget for you. This also gives a campaign prediction. So we take up to 2 years of account data to predict for a conversion value for each of the auction based on the variety of signals. And finally, the bid adjustment on the product level and user level in real time based on the prediction determines each product's likelihood of conversion. And also, our system will bid high if we know that we predict that the conversion rate is going to be high for this query. But if it's low, then we're going to bid lower. So to match that the ROI of each of the bids. So I'm going to summarize some of the key benefits of running smart shopping campaigns. So align your marketing objectives by combining your search and display effort. And also we have a unique set of technology to help you capture and set bids at the query level and user level in each auction, which in turn lowers the cost to manage campaign. Because the whole thing is automatic and it's automated so that you do less to optimize campaign, but do more to help your clients to strategize in general. And finally, because there's cross-channel optimization, so your reach now has grown more. So I want to bring you to the next attention on the ad formats, assets, and remarketing on different channels. I'm going to stop a little bit because I was wondering if everyone is falling asleep and not listening to me at the moment. So I just want to check, knock, and make sure everybody is listening. Haven't fallen asleep yet, but a few more slides and we're over with smart shopping. Then we're on to responsive search ads. So for those of you who just joined and not sure what's going on, right now we're updating on the smart shopping campaign. And if you have any questions at any given time, please write them down in the chat box in the right-hand side of this video. And I will try to answer all your questions towards the end of the video. So let's continue with smart shopping campaign on how different creative works. So in here, just a quick snapshot on different how the ads, the creative will look across different Google properties. And here are just some more examples. So some tips on how to get the creative right for your client. So the creative should be very simple. Have an image, a tagline, also a description, and a file URL. So the call to action button here is like a little arrow. So it's good that it kind of indicates that, okay, do something here. And in terms of the long or short headlines that you could add is basically the long headline could be a description of what you're trying to sell, or give a little description about your brand or your client's brand. And in the short headlines, you can give something like the selling point of this product that is showing in the ad. And this is how shopping ads look on desktop. So if you've never set a shopping campaign up, this is how it looks like. So it's a row of images that would show on, if you're looking at a screen on your left-hand side, that's how the search result will come up. On the right-hand side, it's how it will show up on the mobile. And finally, on the far right, Google.com shopping properties is where our Google shopping properties partner, that's how the ads will show on there. And this is how the mobile will look like. I know you love screenshots, so this is just give you a sense of how this would look like in case you've never seen one or never saw one yourself. And on GDN, how would your ad look like? So it will look more simplified. So it has an image, has a title, and also a call to action, little arrow button. And these, when you give this information, the ad will create itself and make sure that it's fit into the creative. And based on, let's say it's 300 by 250 or 728 by 90, the image was situated in the different parts of the banner and make sure that it makes sense when it shows up in front of your audience. And these are just a bit more examples on how you could play around with the ad when you design the banners. If it's image heavy, then you can see the banner could be covered with images rather than with text in general. So there's these two options for you. And in Gmail, it will appear as a native ad. So when it comes to Gmail ads, you might know it as the top part of your inbox will have the ad that comes up. But in fact, for the part of the shopping ad, the native ads on Gmail will be across Gmail web as well as the app. So it looks like a carousel on different products that you can swipe left and right through. So as shown on the GIF in the slide. And this shows the recommendation for the user based on what they have browsed before. And on YouTube, how would the ads look like on YouTube? So in the lower right corner, you have two images that demonstrate a travel-related example and one that's for retail. So there you will see a little square that has a yellow little square inside says ad. So this is how the shopping ads will appear within the in the YouTube context. So the products will automatically select based on which products your customers saw on your site and relevant recommendation. So be aware that it has nothing to do with what the user is watching. So sometimes this might not be contextually relevant to the video that the user is watching at that very moment. But this ad in particular is relevant to based on the user, what they have looked at on your site before. So this is pure remarketing effort that you're looking at here, and it's not contextually targeting towards what the YouTube video is playing at the moment. And in terms of native ad on GDN, you will also find options of native ad that you can create for smart shopping campaigns. So again, these products will be automatically selected based on how the audience have interacted with your site. So in this example, we're using Google's hardware products. If the user has looked at this new product, let's say the Google Home we have, for example, it will show Google Home as an image result. etc. So again, it's based on how the user interact with the site, and then they decide which ad to show. Okay, so that is the end of the smart shopping campaigns. Now we're towards the last part of the section on responsive search ads. So for responsive search ads, I do want to mention something before we go on, is that responsive search ads right now is available in Hong Kong, but there are limitations on the languages. I know that English, usually in Hong Kong, English ads, search ads, the ad copies is quite limited. Usually it's on more on the Chinese side. So I want to make sure that I want to call this out before you say, oh, I'm super excited and want to launch it right now. However, Chinese as a language for this responsive search ad is coming up. It's in the pipeline happening. It takes some time because Chinese is a quite difficult language to master. And I know for a fact that finding the right ad copies and fitting that into an into the right amount of characters takes a long time to master to begin with. So once responsive search ads happens, that will help you massively. So without further ado, let's go on what responsive search ad is about. So responsive search ads is basically part of the components of making a search ad succeed. So whenever we talk about creative excellence of search ads, we have three components. So one is make sure you optimize the ad rotation. We have 3+ ad extension and also have 3+ ads. Responsive search ads is part of the 3+ ads. So in the red bubbles in the slide that you're seeing right now, and that is part of how you can make creative excellence or reach the creative excellence in this case via using this new feature. So here are just some stats on how can optimizing or making sure that you adapt and adopt the creative excellence metrics will help you. And especially on the 3+ ads, will be up to 15% more clicks or conversion if you apply this feature into your search campaign. So responsive search ads, I don't have many slides on, like beautiful slides like previously on what this is about, but I'm going to quickly go through what responsive search ad is about. It is still in beta stage, but if you're interested, please talk to your Google representative and they'll be able to help you. So here's how it works. We provide you provide us with 15 different headlines and 4 description lines. And then machine learning will then build ads, messages that are most relevant to the Google searchers right when they are looking at to browse for products or suggestions. So the benefit of responsive search ads is that it saves time, it's flexible, it gives you more control, and also better performances. So responsive search ads essentially helps you to create your search ad copy on the go. So you give the machine different sets of variation for it to make a different combination of ads to show to your clients. You might think that actually you will lose control doing that, but it's not true because in the control part, what you can do is you can restrict and make sure that one of the ad text that you want to emphasize, you can pin it and make sure that it is being the first position of the ad and appearing while when a user is searching. So, and because this is almost tailor-made and the combination come at real time when the user is searching for the query, that because the relevance of the ads now get increased, and performance usually we can see that being followed after you search a more relevant ad, and hence the landing to your site will be more relevant and be more efficient. So that is all for our updates today. So thank you so much for your time. And now we're on to the Q&A session. And feel free to ask me any questions if you want. So to recap, today we share new product launches that were highlighted in Google Marketing Live, GML, back in July, even though currently only Smart Shopping campaign is available to Hong Kong advertisers. Would like to keep you in the know in case your clients watch GML and start asking you questions about these products. Then at least now you know what they are and what they actually do for you. So we're currently working to bring these to Hong Kong, so stay tuned. So now let's back to Q&A and see what questions we have on for today. Okay, questions coming in. So Charmaine Tan asks, is Smart Shopping allowed in all markets? The answer is no, only markets with shopping ads. So if you're currently not running shopping ads in the markets that you're looking after, then the answer is no. For example, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and US. Yeah. So second question, is it possible to add option for target continents for keywords research on Planner? It looks like a kind of not something we covered today, but I could help answer the questions as well. In terms of the answer for that is no, you don't have that options to do that. Do we have more questions? Okay. Maybe no more questions, then we will wrap today's up. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next quarter. Bye.